Hello, beautiful being. What is up? My name is Jeanette, also known as MsFitVegan. Today, we are gonna upgrade your motherfucking life. Okay, so you upgrade your phone, right? You upgrade your computer, you upgrade your technology, but do you ever upgrade yourself? Today's the day. Today's the day that you're going to learn how to upgrade yourself, your body. This gift that you have been given. I mean, we spend so much time upgrading and taking care of our cars, our phone, our computers, our houses. What about our bodies? Our bodies are our most valuable possession. You wouldn't bring your brand new Lamborghini to the beach and put sand in it because it's free, and you heard and you read online, there was a post on Instagram about how sand can be used as fuel. Would you do that? No, you wouldn't. So I'm bringing my friend, hey, what's up? What's up, everyone? Thank you for being here. So I'm bringing my friend Matt on today, and we are going to be talking about upgrading your life, your body, your health. What's up, Sherry Boo? And we're going to be talking about his brand new book. It is so incredible. I consider this to be a manual. This is a manual for how to live. It's not just about being raw, because you definitely don't need to be 100% raw to be 100% healthy. And we're going to talk about that as well. And I have a lot of questions for my friend Matt. And Matt, I'm sorry, Matt, let me just say this before I bring you on. Matt is someone who I go to. He is someone whose advice I would take if I ever got sick, and I did get sick, and I asked for his advice. He's somebody who I respect. I know he has done the research. He has done the trial and errors. He has done the experimenting. He has had the experience and learned the knowledge in order to help others. And so he's somebody I trust and I go to, because I'm somebody. So if I'm going to Matt, then he knows his stuff. Wait, so multiple people want to be in my live. Hold up. There's only room for Matt. Can we just chill? There's like 4 people that want to be on live. Okay. Bring Matt on and we shall begin. Very exciting. Hey, Matt.
Hey, what's up, Jeanette?
I'm good. Where's your watermelon in the back?
That's a good question. I'm in Minnesota. It's not even watermelon season yet.
Oh, yes. Watermelon season, is that officially end of May or June?
Yeah, I think end of May, early June.
Yeah. I know mangoes. Have you had any good mangoes lately, Matt?
Oh, I have. 1 second. Let me show you.
Oh, Matt's trying to bring in the fruit. Matt's... Oh, I already got my mangoes ready. You know that, right?
So we get our mangoes at Costco. So we get the 6 Atolfo mangoes for $7. It's, it's not bad, but they have been so good. We've actually got an entire, 12 cases of them lined up. So yeah, they've been so good. We love them.
Dude, the color of those looks so beautiful.
Yeah, I know. I wish they didn't come in plastic, but it's really, it's the perfect human food.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to go to Costco today because I haven't been, and those look amazing, so I got to go.
Sure.
So I have a lot of questions for you, Matt. First of all, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, my pleasure.
And everybody here, thank you guys for being here. If you have any questions for Matt, we are going to check the questions down below. So go to the question part of the live and put your question there so I don't miss it, okay? What's up, Jadelle? What's up, Coley? Expert, nice name. Okay, we got an expert here, Fluffy Vegan. Love it, love you. And by the way, the song that I was trying to think of yesterday, Fluffy Vegan, was My Girl. That's the song, My Girl. I was like, it's a classic. Okay, focus, Jeanette. So, Matt, before we start, first of all, everybody go check out Matt's new book, okay? So we're going to get into some, we're going to get into some parts of the book, and Matt's going to provide a lot of value for you. Don't worry. This is not just about promoting his book, but it is brand new in paperback on Amazon. And I'm telling you right now, if you know anyone in your life that needs to get on a healthier diet, that needs to lose weight, heal any type of ailment, that needs a change and needs to know how, okay? Because we can want to change, but it can be very overwhelming to know how. And don't worry, literally the universe has your back with this book. Because Matt, I'm not just kissing your ass. Seriously, this book is so incredible because it is truly a manual that I wish I had, and I wish that everybody could get. You can also get it in an ebook form. You know, click the link in Matt's bio. I'll leave the link below if you're on YouTube. But I would highly recommend, you know, I had it in an ebook form. I was trying to read it. I would highly recommend you check that out. Or if you want it in your hand, get both. Because honestly, the ebook is great for traveling. Okay, but the book in your house is amazing, especially for the recipes. Matt has some incredible recipes that like are very easy, very simple, all low fat, oil free, gluten free, raw vegan, very, very easy and delicious recipes. So, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt, for creating this book. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me just get into my questions that people have been asking me today. So we got a question that, oh, my watermelon just fell. Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay. We had a question today about grass. So I consume barley grass juice powder. And somebody asked in my story, they wanted me to ask you, what are your opinions on barley grass juice powder or any type of grass like wheatgrass? Are we humans designed to eat grass? Do you consume any type of grass? What is your opinion on this?
Yeah, that's a good question. So personally, I don't really consume any of those powders. I have here and there, you know, throughout this lifestyle that I've been doing it. I think they're fun to experiment with, but I don't necessarily think they're necessary. Obviously, you know, we're not grass eaters. You know, it's not something that really appeals to us. I don't look outside at my yard and get, you know, hungry. But that said, you know, there could be a case to be made for it, just in the sense where, you know, a lot of our fruits and vegetables are picked early before they're fully, you know, developed and ripened. So they might not have all of the minerals that they originally would have had if we had gotten them right from the tree or right from the bush. So perhaps there's, you know, a reason to consume some of these, you know, grass powders that have some more concentrated minerals that we could utilize. But that said, I haven't really used them in any significant amounts, and I've still done just fine. So I think it's something, if somebody's drawn to it, to experiment with it and see how it makes you feel, but don't feel like you have to, you know, buy these products to succeed on this lifestyle, because I haven't found that to be the case.
I love that answer, Matt, because within that answer, it's also like we're trying to let everyone know that there's not a perfect diet. Do you believe like some things can work for some people, and if you feel good, great, as long as they're obviously vegan and healthy and from nature. But some things other people don't need and don't resonate with them. And so a barley grass juice powder has never really resonated with you, and you are just thriving without it. So the answer to my follower that asked that is, hey, try it out if you want, or don't, whatever, you know, as far as that goes. I love it, but Matt doesn't. And we're both thriving on this lifestyle. So there you go, you know? There you go. I love that I learned recently, and can you talk about this? I personally now believe there's not a perfect diet for every human. Do you think that do you believe we're frugivores? And do you believe that there's one way for everyone to eat to be healthy?
Yeah, so I honestly, I don't think there should really even be a question that we are frugivores. You know, fruit is the only food out there that we can really enjoy in abundance, you know, eat a full meal of it and get, you know, satiated, and we don't have to process it or season it or, you know, put dressing on it or anything like that. And it is just perfect for us. You know, it's got the hydration, it's got the vitamins and minerals and enzymes and all that good stuff that every system in our body needs to thrive. And so to me, it's completely clear, and it's not even a question that we are frugivores. But I think a lot of people they conflate frugivore with 100% fruitarian diet, which you don't have, you know, frugivores don't only consume fruit, you know, they still do consume leafy greens and nuts and seeds and other things. So, you know, a frugivore is just an animal or a species that prefers fruit over other foods when it's available. So yeah, we're definitely frugivores, but I don't think, and this is something that has, you know, kind of been a pain point for me in this, you know, over the last 11 years of it being in this lifestyle, where, you know, a lot of people think or teach that there is one way that's going to work the best for every single person. I strongly believe that that is not the case, you know, because of course we're all in different parts of the world. We all have different, you know, life circumstances that we're dealing with. So to tell somebody in Minnesota that they should be eating the same way that somebody in Costa Rica or in Miami would live, you know, where there's much more available, you know, quality mangoes, papayas, and some of those tropical fruits, you know, they're not quite as available here. They are for sure. Like I just showed you the papaya or the mango from Costco. They've been really good. So when they're available and they're affordable, I definitely stock up on those. But I assume that I eat, you know, a little bit different than you do, Jeanette. And I'm sure I eat different than many other people, like, you know, John Kohler, for one. He eats mostly greens, and he's doing really well. So, you know, there's different ways that we can adapt the diet to our specific circumstances. And I think that's really important for, you know, longevity on this diet and making this sustainable long term. Because if it's not a practical way to live, if somebody like here, where it's like, I don't even remember how much it is for one papaya. It's like, it can be like $6 or $7 for one papaya here if it's a good size papaya. Yeah, it's like, you know, some people can afford that, but a lot of people aren't going to want to spend $7 on one piece of fruit.
This was actually $7, Matt. That's funny.
Was it really? Yeah. Right.
Which is quite expensive. You can get it for free here. They grow here, but I couldn't get to a farm. So this was $7. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Right. So yeah, again, it's going to depend on what is practical for each individual. And so I think it's really important, you know, there are definitely, you know, some principles that I think most everybody should follow, but there should be flexibility in the exact, you know, the specifics of it, where, you know, somebody might eat more fruit than somebody else. Somebody might eat more sprouts or more salads or things like that. So you really have to experiment with it and find which way is going to work the best for you, that makes it something that you enjoy, something that is sustainable over the long term. And yeah, that would be my answer to that question.
Yeah, thank you so much, Matt. I love how you broke it down in your book. So in Matt's book, it's so much information, but it's not overwhelming because he goes step by step. Some of these books can be like very overwhelming. I consider this the new like 21st century guide, honestly. And in the beginning of the book, he breaks down all of the animals, who are carnivores, who are omnivores, herbivores, frugivores, and talks about their diet, their digestive system, how they go to the bathroom. And it's very obvious that we were designed to eat fruit, but I love what Matt said, because I never realized there is actually no animal out there that eats 100% fruit, except maybe Ann Osborne, who I love, my friend. She's my friend, guys.
Yeah.
So like it's working for her. it's working for her. She also grew up, on a farm with lots of fresh, ripe, juicy, ripe, delicious fruit. I grew up in New York City. Matt, I'm guessing, I think you grew up in Minnesota, correct?
Yeah, I did. Yep.
Minnesota. Soda.
Minnesota.
And so I really love how you did that, and I just think it's important, guys, that we really try to find mentors and people that are doing their research and are very practical, like Matt. There's a lot of woo-woo people in the movement, and that's why I go to Matt for advice. And if I had a health issue, which I did, I immediately went to people like Matt and some other mentors of mine because I know he's done the research. And so this book, it's like literally like getting mentored by Matt, who has been raw for 11 years. So he knows what works and what doesn't work. Can I ask you, Matt? I have so many questions, and then people have questions too. I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. What is something you discovered on a raw vegan diet that doesn't work?
Well, I think the one that sticks out the most is really fat content in the diet. Eating too much fat, which I did in the beginning. It doesn't work for me, and it doesn't work for a lot of the people I've worked with or that I've, spoken with. It clogs us up. It just slows things down. It causes indigestion, low energy, sleep issues. So I really think honing in on how much fat you're eating is a big key to feeling your best on this lifestyle and making it, a healthy diet. When we get too high in fat, it can just, like I said, just causes a bunch of issues. So that would be probably the main thing, but there's other things like just focusing on diet, I think is a big problem. People think that the diet is going to be the answer to everything, and they neglect all of the other lifestyle factors and community aspect and exercise and sleep and all these different things that really they have to be included if you really want to thrive on any lifestyle. You can't neglect some of these really important, factors. And so just focusing on the diet or eating too much fat, these are some of the things that can really get people into a situation where they're not feeling their best.
So, okay, you just described me. That was me for the first 6 or 7 years. I was working in corporate America, and I just ate raw. I drank lots of juice. I ate super healthy, super clean. And I did not work out. I did not go into nature. I did not do any internal work. I didn't do any breath work. I didn't do any of the things that you talk about in your book. And I didn't change the internal environment. Okay, I love what you write about the internal environment versus the external. Both are important. And so my question to you is, did you always know this? How did you discover that it wasn't just about food, or did you have a mentor early on that put you onto this knowledge?
Yeah, so I didn't always know this. I used, especially in my teenage years, I was super self-critical of myself, really low self-esteem, and then I started to lose my hair when I was like 16 or 17, and that was just really compounded everything, and I was just really down on myself. And again, I mean, as I've said before, I thought that was like the worst thing that could ever happen to me, but it ended up being the best thing because it really, not only did it get me away from all the toxic products that I used to put into my hair, it also, one, it taught me that I am much more than my physical appearance, and that my hair is just, it's really insignificant when it comes to the value that I can bring and just my, innate, value really. But yeah, it also got me onto the path of searching for, better health and changing my appearance. And it wasn't necessarily I was looking for a raw food diet, but in the process of eating more raw foods, I noticed my mindset and my toxic thinking starting to get so much better. And in that time, I was also really drawn to people like Les Brown and Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn. You know, those guys I listen to all the time, and it really, you know, it showed me how powerful the mind can be when we start to really love ourselves and to really just change our frequency of our thoughts. And it just completely makes any sort of change that you're trying to make so much more effective and so much easier to do when you are supporting yourself with your thoughts and really believing in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you know, it's a recipe for disaster if you're trying to make a significant change in your life. So having that belief in yourself, learning how to change your subconscious programming around, you know, who you believe you are and your value and what you can do in this world, you know, getting that into a place of self-love and support is so essential. So, you know, for anybody that is struggling with that, I definitely recommend, you know, at least first thing in the morning, listen to positive messages such as, you know, videos from Les Brown or Tony Robbins or whoever, you know, you really resonate with as far as a motivational speaker. Follow people like Jeanette and other inspirational people that are online that are also sharing this message of positivity and self-love and, you know, changing the way that you think in order to change the way, you know, to change the results you're getting in your life, because, you know, the mind is so powerful. But yeah, you know, mindset, I did kind of have an idea in the beginning, but not as full of a picture as I do now on how important it is. So yeah, I think it goes hand in hand with any lifestyle change that we're trying to make.
Absolutely. And in your book, I learned that when you talk about the internal environment, you have steps on how to change it. And I love your steps. It's so simple. I love when people tell me how, because I'm obsessed with the technical part, right? That's why I was drawn to the raw vegan diet. It was like, okay, this is what you do. This is how you heal. And so I love that you broke it down exactly how to do it. You broke down your morning routine, which I loved. Okay. And I actually did your morning routine today.
Nice.
Okay. So I did, I got up early. I went to the bathroom. Okay. That wasn't really my choice, but
right.
Then I dry brushed and I listened to an audio. I put on a 10-minute audio. So this is a good tip for everyone. Put on the time of the audio that you want to do another habit. So if you want to dry brush for 10 minutes, put on a 10-minute audio. I listened to Eric Thomas today, but I love everyone you mentioned, like Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn. These people literally changed my life just listening. And then I stretched for 10 minutes. I put on another audio and then water. Oh, I wanted to ask you a question about that, Matt. So how do you feel about aloe? I'm currently, this is a selfish question, guys, sorry, but I have Matt on, so I'm like, let me take advantage.
Yeah.
I'm currently consuming fresh aloe every single day. I put it in the blender. I blend it with 32 ounces of water. Sometimes I put in lemon. And I've been doing this for about 2 months now. And I'm wondering, have you read any benefits of aloe? Do you think it's safe to consume every day? Have you ever consumed it every day?
Yeah, I actually went through a phase where I was consuming it quite a bit. I think probably every single day. It was, you know, probably 5 years ago or so. You're doing fresh aloe, or are you doing like the bottled stuff, or?
Not fresh.
Fresh. Yeah, I know. What am I thinking? So,
level 100.
Yeah, I wasn't as on a high level as you. I was doing like some of the bottled stuff and things. So, I did do fresh every once in a while, but not consistently. I'm actually not an expert on aloe. I think, as far as what I've heard, it shouldn't be a problem to have it every single day. Yeah, I'm not probably qualified to.
You know why I ask you? Because it's so confusing how much conflicting information is out there.
Yeah.
You know, I went to my chiropractor the other day, and he tells me I shouldn't be consuming fresh aloe. There's some type of, poison in it, in the stem, like in the center of it. I have to make sure, and he recommends the bottled stuff. And it's like, but if I have it fresh, why would I get the bottled? I'll do some research. But it's so can you tell us, how do we know what is truth in this world? I mean, I titled this live, How to Tap into Your Raw Intuition, because it is something that I'm trying my very best to know what is real, what is truth in this crazy, backwards, like Alice in Wonderland world, right? Where everything that's up is actually down. Yeah. Everything you say is good is actually not good. So how do you tap into your intuition?
Yeah, and before I answer that, I just want to mention, I know John Kohler does have a video about consuming aloe and how to process it the best way. And I'm pretty sure he shows how to get rid of the toxin, maybe it is, that's on there. But I'm pretty sure I remember watching a video of his years ago where he goes over the process of how to do it the best way. So might be something to look into.
That's why we're friends, Matt, because even if you don't know the answer, you know how I can find the answer.
Exactly.
Okay, so yeah, thank you, Matt. I wrote that down. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So how do we know what is truth? That is such a good question. Like you said, I mean, it's like the world we're in right now is so crazy. So first of all, I'll give you an answer, but at the same time, it's hard to describe, your intuition, that feeling. It's more of a feeling than something that you can describe with words. It just resonates with your soul. And really, in my experience, I go more by the energy that I get from somebody than I do the words they're telling me. So that's like the first thing that I personally kind of pay attention to, is the energy that I'm getting from somebody. If that feels like an authentic energy, as a love-based energy, and then I kind of go from there and I listen to what they're saying. I'm a big proponent of doing your own research and not taking whatever somebody says as fact, on face value. Definitely look into these things yourself. Even, of course, even the things we're saying, look into them as much as you possibly can. That not only helps you to verify if what we're saying is true, it helps you to learn how to become a researcher, which in this world is so important, especially, you got to be careful out there because they are making it more difficult to, do the research and find real, legitimate, authentic, truth on the online. So, you do have to look at multiple sources. You got to just, do your research and don't take anything that somebody says as 100%, fact. So yeah, energy, do your research. And, again, it just comes back to an inner feeling. I listen to a lot of the people that I follow and, that I respect and I do trust. But my kind of motto is, I have a couple. One is listen to all, follow none. So you want to take in what everybody's saying, but don't be a blind follower of anybody. Because what I have found is that even the most, knowledgeable, inspirational person, people that I follow, I still find things that I just do not resonate with in my intuition and in my soul. So to me, it has really shown that, I'd go by the 80-20 rule when it comes to, following other people's advice. Is usually, the people that I follow that I find to be, authentic, people, is 80% of what they say is, what I find to be truth. And then about 20%, regardless of who it is, 20% I just don't resonate with, and I just kind of leave that for, you know, somebody else. So again, I just compile all of this information from all these people and researchers that I learn from. Usually I take about 80% of what each of them say and kind of formulate what seems to be, you know, truth in my soul and my intuition, and I go from there. So it's not you know, a black and white thing. You gotta really look into these things, and again, go by what is. It's just this feeling inside of you where you know it's true. Like when I listen to Jeanette, I can feel the authenticity of what she's saying, you know? And so I get that great energy from Jeanette, and I know that she is, you know, putting out love-based information that she truly is passionate about, and you know, she's trying to help people out. And so, you know, that's kind of how I go about determining what is truth and what isn't.
I love it, Matt. I love it. Take what resonates and leave the rest. And isn't that like, it's so true, because I have a lot of mentors and I get very conflicted sometimes when they say things that I don't agree with. And I think to myself, you know what? I'm going to unsubscribe. I'm not going to follow them anymore. You know, fuck them. But then what you said is so true. It's not black and white. Take what resonates and leave the rest, 80-20. So I, you know, because people like David Goggins or some of these mentors, like, you know, self-development mentors, they eat animals, and I get very conflicted, and I'm just like, wait, but I love their message about mental toughness, but they eat animals and it conflicts me. But thank you. You just helped me understand that I can leave what doesn't resonate. Okay, so let's get into some practical. I'm sorry, guys. I know you have questions. Okay, so the first question was from Elizabeth. Thank you for being here, Elizabeth. She wants to know, where do you get your iron from? And there's a part of Matt's book where it's where do you get your blank? He talks about protein, calcium, iron, iodine, vitamin D, B12, and so we'll answer. Matt, why don't you tell everyone where you get your iron from? And if anybody wants to know all the other things, they can check out your book. There's
perfect. Well, I see what you did there. I like it. Yeah, so I mean, iron for me, the biggest source of iron is probably leafy greens. Leafy greens contain, you know, a lot of iron. You know, iron is just a mineral in the soil, and it gets taken up into the plants. And so, you know, a lot of these minerals that people are concerned about, they're going to be, you know, in the plants. They're in the leafy greens, the vegetables, the fruits, you know. So iron, I recommend, if somebody is wanting to just shore up their iron, to make sure you eat a 5-star salad every single day. That's the way to do it. You want to get in a lot of leafy greens, get in those vegetables, throw in some shredded beets, and you know, you're gonna, and nuts and seeds, you know. So it's all in there. So definitely leafy greens would be my first go-to for iron.
How to create a 5-star salad.
There it is.
39 for those of you that have the book already, and it's really fabulous because it tells you want to make sure that you don't run into issues. Now, if you're eating healthy, it will be a few years. Okay, if you're starting a raw vegan diet, you can thrive for years and years and years, and then 5 years later, 10 years later, oh, you weren't eating any sprouts, or you weren't consuming any, you know, herbs, and then the 5-star salad helps me to realize, okay, I need herbs, I need greens, okay, you know. So I really love how you did this, Matt. Can we talk about cravings? Okay, so we had a question. I can't find it now, but it was about cravings. And so, oh, and Nicole said beets are great for iron, and so are pumpkin seeds. Sherry said pumpkin seeds, question mark? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Are they high in iron? I believe they.
I mean, nuts and seeds in general should have, you know, a decent amount of iron. So I don't know specifically if, I mean, let me take a look here.
So while Matt is taking a look there, I am going to, talk about cravings for a second because this is a very, very popular question. People want to know, how can they stop the cravings? How can they, Matt, let me know when you got the answer there.
Yeah.
Matt's research lab, the Raw Intuition Kitchen research lab. And so cravings are, it's a big topic, and he has a whole entire chapter on this and the solution. And of course, it is both physical and mental. Okay, 50%. So, what's the verdict on pumpkin seeds? Are they a go?
There we go. Yes, they're definitely a good source of iron. So there you go. Toss some pumpkin seeds in your 5-star salad.
Yeah. Or, okay, first of all, your recipes are amazing, Matt. I don't know if you use pumpkin seeds. I don't know if I saw pumpkin seeds as a base, but I love to make hummus with pumpkin seeds.
Mm.
It's like pumpkin seed, red pepper, garlic, lemon, green onion, and maybe some type of spice in there. Gotta look at my recipes, but Matt has some incredible recipes with Brazil nuts, which I've never made a dressing with Brazil nuts.
It's my favorite.
Dude, I've never done that before.
Yeah, so good, so good. They're kind of like an almond. They just have such a hearty consistency to them, so they work out really good for dressings.
I cannot wait. I've been raw for the same amount of time as Matt, so there's competition here.
Yeah.
11 years, and I've never thought of putting Brazil nuts. And I stay away from nuts, but for some reason, Matt, my raw intuition tells me that Brazil nuts are a little different than like the other nuts. I don't know why, like cashews and macadamia nuts. I feel Brazil nuts, there's something different about them. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I really love them. Like Sherry says, they're a good source of selenium. But yeah, I mean, I actually went quite a while on this, lifestyle. I hadn't had them either. I never really ate them.
Yeah.
But then I started using them in my dressings, and they were actually, yeah, they turned out to be my favorite nut or seed to use in dressings. So yeah, I really like them, probably more than any other nut or seed.
I can't wait to make some of these dressings. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, guys, that this is not just an amazing book. It's actually a 21-day meal plan. You're getting an amazing guide on how to take care of this vessel that we have been gifted, okay? And this should be in all schools. Seriously, a book like this should be required reading for all kids, because we don't ever learn how and what to eat and take care of our body, okay? And so in the second part of the book, guys, is a meal plan guide. So not only are you getting amazing recipes, you're getting day 1, day 2, 21 days of exactly what to do for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, snacks. Amazing book, Matt. Seriously, you should really be super proud of yourself. This is an amazing piece of work.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Herbal Tea, for ordering the book yesterday. That's
Yay!
awesome.
Herbal tea, that's my boo.
Yeah.
You can tell who's going to succeed on this healthy journey. You could tell, because you're not ever going to, if you don't invest in yourself, seriously, if you don't invest in yourself, guys, you're not going to be able to succeed. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to get the information and be consistent. And you need to stick to one thing. If you get this book, which I highly recommend, click the link in Matt's bio or below if you're on YouTube. I can't recommend this book enough. If you get this book and you start to slowly incorporate what Matt talks about, and one day a week, follow one of his days, one day a week, follow one of his meals, one meal a day. You start there, and it's incredible the changes you will see so fast. So now let's just talk about cravings, Matt. What are some ways that people can stop the cravings for the chocolate, for the bread, for the meat, for the junk food, for the salty things? What are some ways that you have found that works for you and your clients?
Yeah, so when it comes to cravings, maybe different than most people, I go to the mind first. This goes back to our mindset and really shifting our consciousness around what food actually is and also what health is. Um, you know, if we go into a new lifestyle with our old thought patterns and our old beliefs, it's going to be difficult to stick with, you know, the new lifestyle. And that's the same thing with cravings. If, you know, say, you know, I use the example in the book, going to the gym. When I go to the gym, I see this big sign on the wall, Pizza Party Fridays. And they've got like bagels and donuts sitting around on tables on Fridays. And I'm just like, and I see everybody eating it. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? Like, I sit there and through the week, I see all these people busting their ass and trying to get healthy. And then on Fridays, they go and stuff their face with a bunch of pizza that's gonna, you know, counteract everything that they did over the, you know, the week. So
I don't get it at all. I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I have come to find is that, you know, I was just thinking about why don't I think of eating that pizza? Like, I mean, I'm not going to lie, like pizza still smells good to me, but at the same time, I have changed my consciousness around what food is. My definition of food is completely different than it used to be when I used to, you know, live that sort of a lifestyle. Now, pizza, bagels, donuts, that does not register in my brain as food. I would never look at that and think in a million years of eating it. It's just, it's not food to me. And so the people that are at the gym and eating these things, they haven't changed their consciousness around what food is. And so it's well within their parameters of food to eat that pizza and think of it as some sort of a fuel. They're mostly using it as a reward for themselves for working out all week. But the thing is, so, you know, from childhood, we are trained, we are conditioned to look at unhealthy food, unhealthy products, and we connect those with elevated states of emotion. So birthdays, you know, we're all excited and happy, elevated emotion. We have cake and we have ice cream and whatever else. You know, we go to like a party or something, or even a sporting event, you know, a lot of emotion, a lot of excitement. We have beer and hot dogs and, you know, whatever else, you know, all these unhealthy foods at all these events. So we are trained to think of unhealthy foods are connected with elevated levels of emotion. So now when we're adults, we now have stress, you know, coming from all angles in our life. So that's also an elevated state of emotion. So of course, we're going to look at these unhealthy foods as a way to calm, you know, the stress and to or reward ourselves. So it just goes back to breaking that programming and reconditioning our subconscious mind to align with our conscious mind's aspirations and goals. So I can say all day that I want to lose weight, I want to get healthy. But if my subconscious mind still is self-limiting, you know, self-depreciating, you know, I'm telling myself I'm not good enough, I'll never lose the weight. Even if my conscious mind is like in the moment saying, I want to get healthy, I'm going to do this, you know, I want to lose weight. It's not going to work because the subconscious mind is 95% of what's running our day. You know, 95% of the day, we are just on autopilot from our subconscious mind. So that little bit of 5%, you know, throughout the day where we're saying, hey, I want to get healthy, you know, it's nothing compared to the subconscious. So we have to do our best to reprogram what we've got going on in our subconscious mind, become aware of those habits, and start to change that so that when we go to the gym or when we go to an event or a party, we don't even have to worry about giving into cravings or social pressures because it's not part of our paradigm anymore. And so we can replace those types of foods with healthy foods like watermelon and durian and, grapes and, salads. So when you want to get rid of old unhealthy cravings for different foods like that, you have to just start replacing those with healthy foods. So anytime you get a craving, this is what has always worked for me. And I haven't dealt with a ton of craving issues over, the last 11 years, but when I have had cravings for certain foods, I always go to a juicy fruit because that's going to give me the hydration and it's going to give me, the nutrients that I think that my body is really desiring. And so that's what I would recommend to anybody that struggles with giving into cravings. If you have a craving, commit yourself to eating 2 to 3 pieces of a juicy fruit, like an orange or a mango or an apple or something like that, because that is going to help you, it's going to take down the ghrelin hormone within us, and it's going to raise the leptin hormone, which leptin, cuts down our appetite, and the ghrelin is what makes us want to, eat. So when we get in a little bit of hydration and a little bit of calories, that's going to help us to think clearer, because when we're hungry, we don't always think as clear. And so, yeah, eat a few pieces of juicy fruit. That's going to be a great way to get yourself started, but always make sure that you are focusing on shifting your consciousness and how you actually define food and how you define how to be healthy.
I love it. And you also said in your book that the average person, 70% of their thoughts are negative. 70%. So remember guys, it's not what you do sometimes, it's what you do most of the time. And if 70% of the time you're thinking negative and 95% of the time you're thinking the same habitual negative thoughts, we've got to work on the mind. This is why Matt's book works so well and it's so powerful. I want to say thank you to Gina and Claire who ordered the book. Thank you so much. No, seriously, because guys, this will change your paradigm. This is what it's all about. It's not just about changing your health and your body. We've got to focus on our mind. Okay, so someone had there's many great questions. Wow, it's already 1:50, Matt. Oh, God, no.
Oh, man.
No. Okay, great questions, but so I want to answer the questions that are here. Okay. So this is hilarious. Where do you get your B12? Well, first of all, check out the book. He answers it in there. But then they said, where do you get your B6? Now, I've never heard of B6. I've heard of B3, niacin. I know B6 exists. I never thought of it. Why don't you take this one, Matt? Because if I take this one, it's going to be a rant.
All right. So B6, where do I get that? I don't remember the actual name of B6, but I'm just going to tell you, if you want B vitamins, eat fruit. Fruit and berries are going to be loaded with B vitamins. Antioxidant rich foods like fruits and berries especially, but even greens too. This is why I recommend people read the book Whole by T. Colin Campbell. Really great book, talks about reductionism in the way that we look at food. I'm not sure why the viewer is wanting to know specifically about B6, but
are you B6 deficient, ma'am? I just need to know. Are you? Yeah, B6. We continue, Matt. Sorry.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like I was saying, the book Whole, WHOLE. That's a really great book for trying to get your head around reductionism in science and really how corrupted the scientific research has become and just how influenced it is by politics and things. So definitely check out his book. And also, of course, the China study was a big book for me on learning about nutrition. But yeah, so I would just say, if you're concerned about B vitamins, my first place that I would ever go would be eat more fruit and eat berries as well.
So
because
eat more cute. Just
yes.
The end.
Jeanette's a living example right there.
There you go. Okay, so we have another question. By the way, the China study, obviously classic. It was very hard for me to read it. Hey guys, Matt's book is way better. Like, the China Study is clearly one of the most important books of the century. Very hard to read. Very hard to read. Matt's book is very
Yeah.
easy to read. Okay, even though he's giving you very important information, he puts it in a way that's absorbable. Okay, and so next question is why? Oh, this is hilarious. Why did my doctor say not to eat cantaloupe or pineapple in the morning for breakfast? Sad crying emoji. Okay, I will say, let's not waste Matt's time with this question. I will answer it, Matt, because I can't not.
Yeah.
Your doctor got no nutritional training. That is why. Next question. We'll just end that. Next question. I was losing a significant amount of hair when I went raw vegan. Okay, well, this is Matt's specialty. So perhaps Matt will address this because he lost all of his hair going raw, I'm assuming. Oh no, you said it was before. Right.
Yeah. Hair, again, obviously, I'm not the expert on how to have awesome hair. Jeanette definitely is.
There you go.
What I have found for most people that lose hair is they're usually not eating enough calories. Probably not eating enough salads, leafy greens. You want to get those minerals in from the leafy greens, especially, and just eating a well-balanced diet. I mean, a well-balanced, whole food, plant-based diet. That would be my best advice. I'm sure Jeanette could help you out with that as well.
I'm ready. Carry ours. I don't know how to say that. You look like a man. So, okay, you're a man. You were losing a significant amount of hair when you went raw vegan. Okay, I need more information. How long were you raw vegan? And what Matt said is so true. So my hair started growing when so I got sick recently. Okay, which I talked about yesterday, but I'll talk about some more in another live. And I started drinking green juice every day. I started consuming at least 32 ounces of celery juice and 32 ounces of a mixed green juice. So lots of greens, like at least one whole bunch of kale or one whole bunch of parsley, lots of cucumbers, lots of, I did beets in there, I did carrots, but the main thing was the greens. And that is when my hair started growing, even though I was sick. Okay, even though I was having some health issues, my hair started growing because I was consuming a lot more greens. I never prioritized. Oh, I was having every single dressing, I put in at least 4 handfuls of greens, spinach or kale. I put it in the dressing. That's one of my secrets, my free tips here, okay? Put your greens into your dressings. And what you want to do is reduce it with water. Put a little bit of water, blend it down, and then put in the rest of your ingredients. Okay, so you can do that with any of Matt's amazing dressings. Matt has some, how many dressings do you have in here, Matt? Because I was trying to count, it's like definitely over 20.
Yeah, there should be 21 because there's one for every day of the meal plan.
There you go. Okay, I was counting, I thought it was 20, it was 21. Yeah. So 20, and they look amazing, and they're all low fat. They're all based with either sesame seeds or Brazil nuts or sunflower seeds, and some I think might be zero seeds. You're like me. I think you really like creamy, savory dressings, correct?
Oh yeah, definitely. Sometimes I'll do a fat-free one, but for me, I really do like the creaminess that seeds give. And the thing is, people can feel free to, with any of my dressing recipes, you can interchange any of the nuts or seeds that are used. It might change the flavor slightly, but I do it all the time where I'll use the same recipe. I'll just switch the type of seed or nut that I'm using. So that's a great way to, keep things fresh and exciting and, get different nutrients in and all that sort of stuff.
I'm going to start doing that. Wow, I never thought about that. But you also have some dressings based with avocado. And I love how you don't have any cashews or oil in here or things that I used to, I wish I had this book. I really wish I had this book 11 years ago because I used to make pesto I was consuming a half a cup of oil every night for the first 2 years being raw.
Yeah.
And I was not happy with my body. I was not happy with my skin. I had very oily skin. I still had skin issues, oily hair. I was overweight. I was, I wasn't obese as a raw vegan, but I was overweight. And I was like, but this doesn't make sense. Okay, because I didn't know exactly how to do it in a healthy, proper way. So now, the person that asked about the hair was raw vegan for 1 year. Okay, that is not enough time to judge what is going on in your body. You might have been a sad meat eater, a standard American meat eater for 20 years, 30 years. Rome wasn't built in a day, and it didn't fall apart in a day. But for hair, what Matt said was 100% true. Get in more greens. Get in more greens and get in more, perhaps more food in general, more fruit. And it sounds like you're not raw anymore. So this is the answer that you've been looking for, and you just didn't know how to do it properly, which I didn't either. So no judgment. I didn't know at all what I was doing. I just dove in and made lots of mistakes. And I definitely want to ask Matt more things, but the hour is up. And so we just are going to let's do 2 more questions. Is that okay, Matt?
Yeah, sounds great.
Thank you so much. So, Sherry said she loves Matt's smokehouse dressing. I have not made any yet, but I cannot wait. I just got my copy the other day. And even though I had the ebook for a while, but I personally needed it in my hand, I just love real books. But the ebook is also available, and you'll get it the second you order it. So if you're somebody who's like, oh my God, I'm starting today, click the link in Matt's bio and check out his ebook. Get his ebook, because you'll get all the recipes today. And my best advice for that is to just screenshot things on your phone and create a folder that's called recipes or, raw intuition. Okay. So then you'll have that information available. You can also print it out too. Hey, do what you got to do. Use what you have. Check out the ebook or the real book. Lance, what's up? Sherry, be nice. Lance is in Australia. So Sherry, be nice. Thank you, Sherry, for being here, by the way. The cardio doctor said not to eat pineapple and cantaloupe if they're on heart meds or something. It could be they interact with those medications. I've heard grapefruit, but never heard that. Yeah, pineapple and cantaloupe. Matt, perhaps can you help? Why would the heart doctor say not to eat cantaloupe or pineapple with taking medication? Oh, I know the answer, but you do it. You do it.
All right. So you might have to answer. I'm kind of drawing a blank, but the thing that's coming to my mind is, this is something that I really think that people need a better understanding of, is that we need to adjust medications around our diet. We don't want to adjust our diet around medications, right? So if we do that, we'll never get better. So you want to work with your doctor and have him help you adjust your medications to work with your healthy diet. You don't want to exclude healthy fruits and vegetables because you're taking some pharmaceutical. That's kind of opposite of what your goal should be, I would think, unless you want to be on drugs forever. So yeah, work with them. Hopefully they're going to be, happy to help you with that, and figure out a way that you can eat these healthy foods, and it works with your medication. So that would be my advice.
Matt is so nice. I would say, I would also agree with Matt. I would say that, perhaps, pineapple is probably the most cleansing food on earth. And the last thing your doctor wants you to do is cleanse out the medication, because then it won't work. Meanwhile, taking medication is like taking poison and expecting to be healthy. Yep. It's like, what are we doing here? We're trying to get healthy by poisoning ourselves. So perhaps you're on this live for a reason. I wouldn't recommend you stop taking your medication and just, go raw and all your problems are going to be solved. No, I would highly, Matt is not paying me. I would highly recommend you get Matt's book. Get it in ebook form or in a hard copy. You can click the link below if you're on YouTube or in Matt's bio. Do some research on your own. Learn some things about nutrition and health that your doctor absolutely does not know, because I guarantee you, your doctor is not reading books like this. Your doctor is not studying nutrition, and your doctor probably doesn't look healthy himself. So don't take advice from somebody you don't want to trade places with. I'm just putting that out there. But yeah, cleanse, dude, melons and pineapples, these are very healthy, cleansing food. This is going to cleanse the medication out of you. All fruit really will. So yeah, I have clients, and my mom is on medication. What's up, Mom, if you're watching? And I want to inspire them to slowly get off that medication so that they can start to repair and heal their bodies. You want to work with a coach doing that. So maybe perhaps contact Matt. You can work with him one-on-one, or get his book, because that's the best way. Okay, so one more question. Thank you. I would have gone on way more of a rant. We're not here, Matt, so thank you for being here. The people have spoken. They want you guys weekly. Who said that? Sherry. Sherry's so funny. But okay, last question. Oh, and Carrie Yours, I just want to say I'm so fucking proud of you. So Carrie Yours agrees, and he wants to try going raw again. Yeah. Failure is part of the process. If you went raw, or you started a regimen and you fell off, well, guess what? We've all done that. We've all fallen off. The successful people get up and keep going. You know, Andy Frisella is one of my mentors. Are you familiar with Andy Frisella?
I'm not. No, I'm gonna look him up though.
Dude, what an amazing guy. He changed my life. He inspired me so much to start my own company. He is the head of First Form. So it's a company I don't exactly agree with. It's a supplement company, but he used to have a podcast called the MFCEO podcast. He's amazing. He now has the Real AF podcast. I love him. He speaks a lot of truth. He's very controversial because he's not afraid of speaking the truth. And he opened my eyes to the fact that entrepreneurs and successful people also fall off. It's like this, but people don't talk about it. Like, you're never going to see J-Lo do a live and say, I didn't work out today. You know, I'm not perfect. You know, maybe she is doing that, but most people are not. Most Beyonce and all these celebrities, they're not telling you the truth. The truth is, it's up and down. It's ebbs and flows. There's peaks and valleys, and you're always going to, life is never going to be perfect, and you're always going to have problems and things that get in the way. But what we need to focus on is being consistent. You don't want to be perfect. You want to be consistent. That's going to get you, you know, the goal and the outcome that you desire. Being perfect is not going to get you shit. Being consistent, actually, right, Matt? Being perfect is going to get you to fall off. Right?
Yeah. Being perfect is it's gonna make you weak. You know, we wanna put ourselves in these situations that, you know, failure is such a, I feel like it's a misnomer. You know, they're all learning opportunities, and it's just a way to grow internally, mentally, spiritually. So yeah, don't expect, or, you know, desire to be 100% perfect every single time or every single day, because, you know, it's not realistic. And, you know, the flowers and the plants that are out in the elements, in the wind and the rain and the storms, they're the strongest. You put a plant in a greenhouse, it's weak. It's, you know, it can get sick easier. So, you know, you want to go through those tribulations and, you know, those learning experiences to better your understanding of how this lifestyle and how anything works. So yeah, don't seek the easy path. It's not always as, you know, great as it seems.
Absolutely. Easy now, I always say, Matt, easy now equals hard later.
Yeah.
Hard now equals easy later. You want a better future? Make hard decisions now. You want a harder future? Make the easy decisions now. Eat the Doritos, eat that bagel at work, eat those donuts. You will have a harder time later. And Matt, what you just said triggered the amazing part of your book. In the chapter about changing your environment internally, oh my God, I love what you did here. You basically, so Matt compared a plant to our growth mindset, our mindset, okay? So like, It's absolutely incredible what he did. He talks about the growth oriented mindset. Health are like the soil. The thoughts are like the seeds. Our attention is the water. Okay. High quality language is the sunshine, and the follow through, the action is the climate. And all these things help us to change our mindset. I highly recommend that you check out this part of the book, everyone. Just the entire book is amazing. And I loved that, Matt. I loved that metaphor. It really helped me understand what was happening when I do listen to these positive audios, when I do change my beliefs and start doing affirmations, what is involved and what's happening. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Last question of the day. And what's up, Eva? What's up, Boo? I have a feeling Sherry is the reason you're here. So I appreciate you, Sherry, and I appreciate you, Eva. By the way, I just want to say I love you, Sherry. And Sherry is one of the reasons that this book exists. So
yes.
She is a plant exclusive editor. And she also edited this book. She edited my book, the Raw Vegan Beauty book, and my new course. And yeah, Sherry is one of the most amazing people I've ever met. And she's a very big bright in my life. And I know Matt feels the exact same.
Yes.
And thank you for being here, Lance. Yes, fruit is the only karmaless food. Absolutely. Because fruit, I could talk about fruit forever, but fruit, if you don't eat it, it goes bad. You're wasting if you don't eat it. But vegetables, they will continue to grow. You know, you have to pick them and they will continue to grow. Am I right about that, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, you can regrow celery, you can regrow carrots, you know, if you plant them, obviously, but if they're sitting on the kitchen table, they probably will go bad.
I was thinking like in the farms, like.
Oh yeah. Right.
If you have like celery in the ground, will it just keep growing or will it go bad if you don't pick it?
That's a good question. Yeah. We'll have to get a farmer on here.
Yeah, if anybody knows, but I know for a fact that fruit is literally the only food on earth that will go bad and die if you don't eat it. And right. So, okay, last question. I'll let you go, Matt. Okay, so thank you guys for being here. Yes, love you, Lance. Thank you for being here. Lance has been one of my favorite. Lance has been with me from the beginning. He was one of my first subscribers on YouTube. So I really appreciate you and love you, Lance. Thank you from America. Okay, here we go. What is your go-to breakfast, Matt? You know, I actually had the exact same question here. So thank you for asking that. What is your go-to breakfast?
It's right here. This is actually my breakfast. I was going to have it during the interview, but I figured I'll just wait till after. So my go-to breakfast is a big smoothie. And I talk about this in the book, in the daily meal design. I help people, come up with a solid design for, their day. And again, they can kind of personalize it to what works best for them. But the basic outline is called SFS. It's just an acronym for smoothie, fruit, salad. And so I always have a big fruit smoothie for breakfast. It's a bunch of bananas. It's usually some frozen mango or frozen pineapple or, berries or things like that. Toss in a little bit of like flax or chia seeds. And that's my breakfast. It's hydrating. It's full of the vitamins and minerals, enzymes, all that stuff. It, keeps me energized and it really keeps me full for a good few hours. So I usually just have a big fruit smoothie for breakfast. And I typically start to eat, between 10 and 12, depending on what's going on.
How many ounces is your smoothie?
It would be, it's a full Vitamix carafe. So 60 plus ounces.
There you go.
Yeah.
So the 16-ounce smoothies is not going to cut it, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Yeah, for the last 10 years, I've worked in the food and beverage industry. It's my passion, as you can tell, if you go to my page. But people were getting 16-ounce Some people get, Matt, 12-ounce smoothies for breakfast.
Ah, that hurts.
What are you gonna do with that?
That hurts my heart.
12 ounces is like the leftover that I have on the blender. Like,
Yeah,
what?
I know.
No, that don't work. And people wonder why they fall off. Okay, so I just wanted to leave with the yes test, Matt, because I loved it so much as well. And by the way, carry yours. Carry yours? I can't say that name. They said we have great skin and look happy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We both eat fruit. So we cute. What can you do? Okay, 32 ounces good as well. MF Nikon. I'm gonna guess that's motherfucking Nikon, which I like. I like that. Yeah, 32 ounces okay. Sure. You know what? That works. Make sure that if you're still hungry though, you increase the size. You know, everyone's different. Some people eat more than others. No problem. Depends on your cardio, your exercise as well.
Yep.
And then, so the yes test is what you want to say for every single thing that you eat, guys. Okay, so I loved this so much. He has a lot of great like graphs in this book and like easy ways to memorize things. So, is it health promoting? Does it taste good? Okay, this is so important, Matt. I've been saying this for years. I will not eat anything that doesn't taste good.
Right.
Does it? So do you do wheatgrass? I'm curious. Oh wait, you said no. You said no.
I have in the past. I haven't done it for years, but yeah. I mean that's an example. You know, these are things that I feel like you can play with and experiment with. If you like it, hey, go for it. But I mean, it wasn't really something that I found to be something I wanted to do consistently. So yeah.
Yeah. Nature is trying to tell us what to do. You have a mango and it's ripe and it's amazing. You can't resist that mango. Like yesterday, I had one Haitian mango, and then the other one I was trying to save for my roommate. I couldn't do it. There's nothing I could do, and she's like mad at me. There's nothing I could do. It was so good. I had to. Okay, does it taste good? Number 3, does it make me feel good? Because number 2 can be very confusing for people because McDonald's tastes good, M&M's taste good, brownies taste good. But Matt, can you just tell us real quick, like how does raw fruit and vegetables make you feel compared to the other stuff that tastes good as well?
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, McDonald's tastes good or cookies taste good. But if I were to eat cookies or McDonald's, I would feel awful, even like within probably 20 minutes, you know? But also, I want people
to rush you to the hospital, Matt.
Yeah, they would. I probably wouldn't make it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to think about how it makes you feel immediately after you eat it, and also, or, you know, within like an hour, and also the next day. Because a lot of times somebody will eat something today, feel okay, but then tomorrow they're lethargic or they have headaches or whatever, and maybe they don't recognize that it's from what they ate the day before because, you know, it's been a little bit of time. So it's really important to really look at how food makes you feel and determine if it's something that you should be eating, you know, at all or on a regular basis.
Yeah, I learned that from, what's the girl with Marcus? Kara?
Kara, yeah.
She had a video years and years ago. She said, how you feel the next day is determining what you eat the day before. How hydrated you are the next day determines what you did the day before. So you're always one day off. You're always 24 hours ahead of time. What you eat today will affect you tomorrow. And eating lots of nuts and dehydrated food on this raw vegan journey, eating oil, eating the raw vegan junk food, it makes me feel like shit. So I know for a fact it doesn't serve me. Hey, Jessica, what's up? We're about to leave, but last thing. So is it health promoting? Everything you eat, is it healthy? Does it taste good? Does it make you feel good in the moment? And also the next day, focus on the next day as well. Is it affordable? Great point, because if you cannot afford it, if you're just waiting to go raw until you can order Miami fruit every day, that's not going to work. You're never going to be raw. You're never going to be healthy. So can you afford it? You can afford it. Like Matt talks about in his book, he has so many good tips on shopping, saving money, saving time. Such a good chapter. I actually learned so much as somebody who's been raw for 11 years. Seriously, I would highly recommend this book because I learned so much, and I know a lot. Not enough though. We never know enough. Okay, and number 5 is, does it eliminate well? So
That's a big one. That is a big one.
we will do a whole live on elimination because that I seriously learned so much. I didn't even like realize. So now I'm like blowing my nose before I go to bed and wake up. I don't need to, but I'm just like, okay, this is part of the channels of elimination. I didn't even know anything about that. So I just wanted to say again, thank you so much for writing this book, creating this for everyone who is you're going to change the trajectory of so many people's lives. And I don't even know if you realize that. And so I want to say also thank you, Sherry, for being in our life and making pressuring Matt to complete this book. And I also want to say thank you for everyone who is here and everyone who is on their healing journey back to health. Every single time that you meditate, every time that you do your affirmations, every time you dry brush, every time you drink a juice, eat a piece of fruit, we are all connecting with everyone else that is doing the same thing. And so every time I do something good for myself, I always think I'm connecting with everyone on earth who's doing this. And it just feels really good. And I just want to say thank you for everyone who's here, everyone who's bettering themselves every day. And Matt, could you please, you have shared so much knowledge and wisdom with us. Could you please leave us with one of the best pieces of advice that you have heard that has kind of like impacted your life in a big way? I would just love if you can think of something that has really inspired you or some type of advice that really helped you on your journey.
Yeah, so the first thing that popped into my mind comes from Les Brown, and that is someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality, right? So that was a thing that I struggled with growing up is, I would worry about what people thought of me. And if somebody, didn't like me or said something negative about me, I would let that become my reality, And so I remember growing up in 6th grade, one of my best friends growing up before that, he told me, remember when you used to be a cool kid? And that really got into my subconscious, and that just festered in my mind for years. And so that is an example of letting someone's opinion of you become your reality. And so I learned throughout this process that if there is no enemy within, there is, the enemy outside can do you no harm. Another thing that I got from Les Brown. If you're not negative against yourself, what other people think about you means nothing. So if you want to become a healthy raw vegan and somebody else tells you that you can't do that or it's not possible, you gotta have that internal confidence, that internal knowing, and that self-love that's going to help you to get rid of, kind of just have a shield against all that external negativity, and don't let other people's opinions of you determine how you feel about yourself. So just be confident, again, do the research and into this lifestyle that you need to do, but believe in yourself. That would be my best piece of advice for today.
Such good advice. Thank you so much, Matt. He has a lot more tips and tricks on the internal environment, okay? That is so important to changing your external life and body and health, okay? So thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate you. I will talk to you soon, and thank you guys for being here, all right? Thank you so much. Have a great day, Matt.
Thank you, Jeanette. See you later.